Alrighty guys, we're back for some mono red artifacts, and this is a Phyrexia all will be one standard brew. We're gonna go over the deck then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Red Cat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you. Also, we do got that Discord link down in the description if you're interested in joining that up. Okay, what do we got in the build here? Main reason to play your artifacts. Patchwork Automaton, a 2-mana 1/1 with Ward 2, which comes in handy very often. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Patchwork Automaton. So this can get out of hand very fast, obviously. So what all do we got packed in here to work with Patchwork? We got all 4 Goldhounds in here, a 1-mana 1/1 first strike menace. Tap it, sack it, add 1 mana of any color. In my opinion, a very underplayed artifact creature. We have all 4 rabbit batteries in here because it's just good stuff, huh? Got a single Eater of Virtue in here, works wonders with the Goldhound and a few other creatures in here, fits the artifact theme, and we have a very small equipment theme in here as well. Speaking of equipments, we have 4 Hexgold Halberds. This is a 2-mana equipment and it has 4 Mirrodin, so it comes into play, you get the 2/2 Rebel, it equips itself to the 2/2 Rebel, and as long as it's your turn, equipped creature has first strike and trample, which honestly is not bad at all. The equip cost on here is 2 and a red, and it wouldn't be too bad to equip this to a nice chunky patchwork to give that trample, you know? We have a couple Gilded Pinions in here. Sometimes trample isn't enough and you don't want to swing into an obliterator, so maybe giving some wings to a good old patchwork will help. It's a 2-mana equipment, and when it enters the battlefield, create a treasure token, and then equipped creature has flying. The equip cost is 2. I actually really like Gilded Pinions. We'll see if it puts in any work today. More artifacts, we got all 4 Zenith Chroniclers. This is a 2-mana 3/1. Whenever a player casts their first multicolored spell each turn, each other player draws a card. We'll see how often this actually comes into play because there's still a lot of mono black. Apparently there's still a lot of mono red. I haven't ran into too many mono red players recently, but you know, it works against like Azora Soldiers has some multicolored spells. I'm seeing Grixis pop up again. I'm seeing Jund everywhere, right? You know, that Blood Tithe Harvester is very played in a lot of different decks, and maybe getting extra cards off the Chronicler wouldn't be too bad, but it's also just in here because it has decent stats as far as artifacts go. We'll see how often we actually draw on it, though. Okay, the top end of the build, more artifacts. We got 4 Urabrask's Forge. This is a 3-mana artifact. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you put an oil counter on it, then you create an X1 red Phyrexian Horror creature token with trample and haste, where X is the number of oil counters on Urabrask's Forge. Sacrifice that token at the beginning of the next end step. You know what sounds insane to me? Turn 1 Goldhound, turn 2 Forge. You get that Forge down at a turn early, it starts getting those counters rolling, right? And then turn 3 Forge, right? Now you have 2 early game Urabrask's Forge just plugging in a ton of work for you, but it's also just going to be a decent 3-drop after you drop Patchwork Automaton on turn 2 as well. So, yeah. What are the non-artifact cards in here? Well, we have 3 End the Festivities, which helps us clean up some soldiers, helps us against other mono-red builds and stuff like that. Just a decent card that pairs beautifully with Mechanized Warfare. We also have 3 of these in here as well. Red or artifact sources. So, yeah. It totally works with all the artifacts in here too. You know what? I feel weird not reading it now. So if a red or artifact source you control would deal damage to an opponent, or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage +1 instead. We all know this card at this point, but yeah, it's a solid one. We have 3 Rebel Salvos. Like I said, very tiny little artifact or equipment theme in here. So it has affinity for equipment. So this spell costs 1 less to cast for each equipment you control. Rebel Salvo deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. That permanent loses indestructible until end of turn, so just a very solid piece of removal, even at 3 mana. It's gonna be relatively decent. It cleans up Sheoldred very nicely. And it's probably gonna cost, I would say in this particular deck, it's probably gonna be a 2-drop more often than not, but it will be a 1-drop sometimes, or a 1-mana card, I should say, right? Since we do have the equipment on Halberd, Rabbit Battery, Eater of Virtue, and the Gilded Pinions as well. Oh, I missed Feldon in here. We have a couple Feldons packed in just for more ways to see more cards off the top. The opponents hate blocking Feldon, so it plugs in a lot of extra damage. It's great to see Feldon seeing so much play right now. I love it. It is awesome. It was one of my favorite cards from the last set, so yeah, it's a good one. I like it. All right, mana base. We have 21 total land. One of them's a Crucible, 2 of them is a Mishra's Foundry, and 1 of them is a Mycosynth Gardens. So this can be tapped for a colorless. You can tap 1, tap it, add 1 mana of any color, okay? And then X, you can tap it. Mycosynth Gardens becomes a copy of target non-token artifact you control with mana value X. This has so many great targets in it, right? So you're tapping it, so whenever it comes out, it will be tapped. So it's not like you'll get to do X is 1, target the rabbit battery, and then swing with your land, because it'll, you know, be tapped. However, it is possible to copy your rabbit battery and then use that new Mycosynth Gardens battery, reconfigure it, right? Even though it's tapped, you can still reconfigure without tapping it. So that's kind of neat. But really, the best target has to be the Patchwork Automaton, right? Just get multiple Patchwork Automatons on the board for relatively cheap and then start spamming your artifacts onto the board. Sounds decent. I hope 21 land is going to be enough, because it's going to be a lot of turns where we want to play multiple things on the same turn. But hey, we got Goldhound and Gilded Pinions kind of sort of ramping us a little bit, right? Honorable mentions, guys. It's super weird not playing Commando Faces Sokenzan. Probably, this is my opinion. I don't know if this is true, but it's probably the best red card in Standard. Well, okay, the best red card for aggressive decks, I should say, right? So yeah, it's weird not playing it in here for sure. Reinforced Ronon almost made the list. Yotia Declares the War also almost made the list. This ends up being pretty decent removal in artifact decks, but I don't know, it didn't fit in this time. High Speed Hoverbike is also pretty decent. I love the flash on it, being able to give a Patchwork Automaton extra counters at instant speed could be really good if you're on the defense, right? But then also, when it enters, you tap target creature, so you can tap down like an Obliterator or something, swing in next turn, and hopefully win. So yeah, another card that almost made the list. Okay, guys, enough rambling. It's a relatively simple list as far as I can tell, so let's take it into some ranked and see how we do. Okay, we'll see if we can get right into that first match here. Oh, heck yeah, we do. Okay, what am I expecting from the list? I'm expecting a lot, actually. Oh, really bad first hand, though. No red source, nothing to do. Alright, we are forced to mulligan here. Although the opponent goes first, we do get a draw, but I doubt we're going to see it, so we should mulligan. Okay, much better. What do we send? Since we don't know what we're up against, I'm going to send the End the Festivities. Yeah, I'm expecting a lot, actually, so we'll see. We'll see. I know Mono Red is in a really good position right now, but this is definitely a little bit of a different version. But I mean, we're still rocking a lot of the same powerful cards, too. Mono Black. Well, if we see the Zenith Chronicler, it's not going to do anything this game, unfortunately. Well, it's still a nice, chunky artifact, though, I guess. Alright, turn 2 Forge. Let's do this. I'm trying to think, does Mono Black have a lot of ways to get rid of artifacts? I honestly, I don't know. Because Invoke Despair doesn't hit artifacts. So Forge might be relatively safe right now. You have to tap Goldhound, by the way, to use its ability. I every now and then, it's rare, but every now and then, people say, why didn't you attack with the Goldhound first? You gotta tap it. You can add Vigilance. Oh man, that would be insane. Okay, mono black doing the mono black things. Well, I'm glad we sent the other End the Festivities. We might be forced to chump here with a halberd. Let's just keep plugging damage through. Let's just keep on rolling, huh? I'm trying to think if we want to play the End the Festivities. I don't think we do. I think we hold it back until it can actually hit something or maybe clean up the last point of damage. A Trespasser is particularly bad because, you know, life gain, but we'll see. Oh, it's one of the Life of Toshiro mono blacklists. Actually, I actually really like that Life of Toshiro seeing play, but these ones are terrifying, man. They can seriously plug damage through. If we see a land, I wouldn't mind doubling down. Okay. Wouldn't mind doubling down on the halberds at all. You can see where Patchwork would really come into play here. We have the 2 for the Bank Buster. Alright, we're going to double down on Halberd. And probably just chump the 5/5 Trespasser, I would assume. Because, yeah, we have to stay alive. They could always play Life of Toshiro number 2 and bring the Trespasser to a 7/7. There's so many cards seeing play recently that I'm really happy that it's seeing play, but it's also really scary that they're seeing play, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so happy Feldon's seeing play, but every time the opponents play it, I'm like, ah, geez. Well, I guess we can't block that, you know what I mean? I play the type of decks that Feldon really likes to go up against. Okie dokies. Couple Hexgold Halberds on the board. Depending on what the opponent does here, they might be in trouble, man. This early forge was awesome. It would have been much better to actually see like Patchwork this game and stuff. And of course, if we didn't have to mulligan, but that was pretty much a forced mulligan, right? That would have been a very scary one to keep. Oh, they could go -1, play the second Life of Toshiro -1 again. Kinda, sorta. Axe's removal, but well, they could do that, then play like another Go for the Throat on the Rebel. Because the Rebel's not an artifact, it's just the Halberd that is. So Go for the Throat still hits these. And then at that point, oh, they go for the life. Okay. Okay, that's good news. Trespasser can't get through, and if they swing with Bankbuster, it's a tempting double block, but we just take the 4 and be happy that we have creatures on the board. Because we can always power up Foundry, too. The game seems loud to me today. No, nothing changed there. I'm going to turn it down manually here. There we go. I don't know why. It might just be the music. Seems a little loud. I feel like my microphone was about to pick it up or something. They go for the Trespasser swing, and that decision on the Life of Toshiro tells me if we double block, that the second Life of Toshiro comes down and cleans up the other Halberd with the -1. However, getting this Trespasser off the board could be huge for us. We gotta risk it. I think we gotta risk the second Life of Toshiro, guys. The life gain on the Trespasser is an absolute pain. It's a constant threat as well. Cut down. Okay, yeah, just instant speed spot removal also works, but we don't take 3. It's not too bad, because even if we would have chumped to not take 3, yeah, Patchwork Automaton's a little bit late to the party here. Life of Toshiro's about to flip next turn, so even if they don't see a swamp, it could be Invoke Despair. Do we just power up Foundry? Forge not hitting too hard here. Oh, sorry, opponent, I'm thinking. Because we're at 9. We're not dead unless... Okay. We don't want it to switch to night, I know that much. Alright, we're risking it. I'll play the End the Festivities this turn, so that way it doesn't switch to nighttime. They gained a ton of life this game, unfortunately. I think it's fitting that the first match is against Mono Black, because I've been seeing a ridiculous amount of Mono Black recently. Alright, we don't want it to switch to night. And Forge is going to be 5 next turn, so we do have the 7. Toshiro's a great blocker for Foundry. Yeah, Patchwork Automaton just came a little bit too late to the party, and maybe I should have just chumped instead last turn, or just taken the 3, because if we had 2 creatures on the board, they still had the cut down for when we swung in. Yeah, I don't know, that's tough. I think it still might have been worth the risk to try to get rid of Trespasser, but it's a really tough decision. Luckily, they do not gain life here. Like I said, oh, Archfiend. Okay. Okay, Archfiend's a problem. Urabrask's Forge is not there yet. It's not to the point of taking down an Archfiend. A second Forge. Oh, no. Yeah, I think that Archfiend... Wow, you know what? We don't really see Archfiend too often in Mono Black. I do like the addition, though, opponent. I think everything was a little bit too little too late. And even if the opponent didn't have life gain this game, I don't know if we would have been able to get there. There's not a lot else we could do here. We could power up Foundry again and swing with our 5-1 and everything, but they have great blockers on the board, so... We'll let them swing in and drop the GGs. Actually, the Forge versus Archfiend is terrifying, huh? Because whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, its controller loses 2 life, so... Yeah, good game. Did I drop a double GGs, or was that the first one? I don't remember right now. Either way... That's going to be one of those games where I go back and watch to see if I could have made some better decisions. The big one that I'm thinking there was the double block from the Hexgold Halberd, and then, of course, the question I want answered is, did it matter? Like, if I would have saved that back, if I would have taken the damage and let the creature survive, would it have mattered? And I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, Mono Black is going to be one of the deadliest ones for this deck to go up against, I would say. But overall, I do think we can totally get there. Okay, see, a much better starting hand, too. Much better. I really want to see Patchwork, but, like, you can't complain too much about this. They go first here, so... hopefully we can get the Chronicler down before they play their Blood Tithe Harvester. I really want to draw off of the Chronicler, if you guys can't tell. They hit the Forge. We draw a Rebel Salvo. Not bad, not bad. Opponent, just don't play the Harvester yet. Just wait. Okay, they keep a Make Disappear open. Well, Make Disappear hitting Feldon definitely sucks. We could just go Eater of Virtue. It's a lot worse for the opponent to hit, and then we can equip this to Battery. If they go Make Disappear on Eater of Virtue, then we still have great 2-drops in hand. And if they don't go Make Disappear, we equip to Rabbit Battery, and Go for the Throat does not hit this. But a Cut Down does. Well, we tried, right? Up against Grixis is great for the Chronicler, though. We just have to actually get it onto the board. All right, we're gonna try it. Oh, nice, nice. Okay, there's no great reason to equip this other than the fact of just using up our mana. I guess it does get it to a 5/1, which is pretty impressive. Nothing from the opponent. Hey, there's our patchwork. Nothing stuck last turn. I'm gonna go Warfare. Well, now it's sticking, so that must mean it's like a negate. Okay, okay. I mean, that's fine. Good swing for 5, and my assumption is go for the throat is their removal in hand. So Feldon will probably get picked up by that. If it is go for the throat, we're gonna just go, we're gonna try Automaton. Okay. Rabbit Battery. And swing for 6. Yeah, they'd have to spend all their mana to cut down Patchwork. They might want to just cut down the battery instead. It depends. Well, 3 mana take out the Patchwork now. If their main removal in hand is go for the throat. We're hitting big guys, and it doesn't look like Grixis is finding their mana, so they go for the battery instead. Okay, makes sense. They find some mana. I really want to draw off this Chronicler. Like, Grixis is the perfect deck to go up against to have Chronicler in. They have 2 mana open. It's not like we don't do this. Like, we're going, man. We're going. We're just swinging. Yeah, GG opponent. If they didn't have the 2 mana open, hold on, let me see here, and they had more health, or if the game was going to go on longer and they didn't have mana open, I would have attached Eater of Virtue to the Feldon. The reason we didn't for the swing there was this could have been a go for the throat, which of course doesn't hit the Chronicler, and if it did hit the Feldon, then that would have been really bad. So that's definitely something to consider. And the reason to plug Eater of Virtue on something like Feldon is then if Feldon dies, of course it gets exiled, and the next thing Eater of Virtue attaches itself to will also have the haste from Feldon. But yep, we just kept everything the same because go for the throat is everyone's choice removal. That was perfect. That was a great one, guys. That's one of those games that I really wish would have been the first match, but it is what it is, you know what I mean? We've been having great second games, actually. Like, the number of times I have brought that up, we've been having great second matches. Oh my goodness. Alright, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? Let's see, we went up against Mono Black. We went up against Grixis. We go first this time. You know what? Maybe it's going to be some mono white mid-range, which I see some people are calling mono white control, which is, yeah, pretty much, right? I guess it's mid-range / control. Island. You know what's really good against mono blue? A turn 2 Urabrask's Forge. Spell Pierce. Watch the Spell Pierce, guys. Don't do it. No, my soul. 100% my fault, guys. I was playing around, and this is what I get for playing around. At this point, we have to anticipate a counter spell here, so would be the best bet, I guess, trying to get Patchwork down first, because we don't want to go Halberd just because it's better for them to counter Halberd. We still want to have some kind of line of play. Yeah, you gotta anticipate the spell pierces, guys. I can't believe I did that. It's a little bit funny though. We tried. It could have been great. It could have been. Another End the Festivities, not terrific. Alright, attempt the Halberd this time over the Feldon to buff the Automaton. Patchwork's just great, man. Patchwork just works on so many levels, because if they want to drop the Fading Hope at some point, they have to pay that ward cost. And the more mono blue taps... I wonder if we Now, I guess we saved the End the Festivities. It is very possible that they get to the point. So Fading Hope hits the Halberd, and now we can attach the Halberd to the Automaton, which isn't terrible. I do think we're going to get picked apart by Mono Blue, especially after that first counter spell, but let's go. They could easily have a counter for this. I think it's worth the shot. Oh, nice. Well, we can't swing into a 3/4 Haughty Djinn, though, so not in the current state of Patchwork. Yeah, we'll see, we'll see. And the Festivities has just kind of been chilling in our hands, so we might want to talk about going down to 2 or even 1 of them, and it's not completely necessary for this build at all. I was anticipating seeing more aggro, as that seems to be the meta that everyone else is seeing, but I really haven't been. I really haven't been. Buff that Automaton. I doubt the Hexgold lands. They have 5 mana. Oh, woo, look at that. Their Djinn is getting super chunky here. And we're kind of sort of in danger. We're going to have to double down on End the Festivities next turn or something to take care of these Djinns. Oh, they actually just got rid of a bunch of islands instead. Yeah, that works. Yeah, we're going to save the double End the Festivities. It's possible that one of them gets countered, but they go shore up. Oh, no. Well, the good news is we get to clean it, right? Because it doesn't have... Yeah, that's good news. So, and the Festivities doesn't target, so Hexproof didn't work, and it Shore Up doesn't give Indestructible, so it kind of worked out, but that's not the trade we were hoping for. Patchwork was our one hope. Terror and a Haughty Djinn. Man, I wish that Forge would have hit the board earlier, guys. Oh, man. Well, we could go Feldon. And if they block here, the End the Festivities... Oh, just a normal counterspell. Oh, Essence Scatter. Okay. Well... I like the first strike and everything here. I think we're dead. I'm just going to swing. If they block, we have the End the Festivities. Yeah, if they don't block, they're down to 13. Take an 11 here, or... Yeah, I guess we save End the Festivities in hand, right? I'm going to be thinking about that Spell Pierce all day. That's really funny. Chronicler doesn't do anything against Mono Blue either. This is just one of those cards that we want to boost our Patchwork when it's up against a deck like this, but... Blocks on the ground, but Haughty Djinn's gonna get in the air anyways. We're just playing everything out for the sake of playing everything out at this point. We'll get a nice swing on the ground, 3 damage with our Rebel, and then do a couple damage with the End the Festivities. And that'll be it. We'll let them swing on in, because I can only imagine Mono Blue doesn't get to wrap up games too often. It's one of those decks that you just feel like a lot of people would just concede against it, you know what I mean? Or at the point after they run away with it. Good game, opponent. All right, let's hop into the next one. The games have been relatively fast, so my hope is we get like 2 to 3 more matches in. I know we're 30 minutes in, but I would love to get 2 or 3 more matches in. Like just a larger sample size for a deck that I have high hopes in. I'm kind of butchering it right now. I like that incredibly risky play into the Spell Pierce. Was quite the oops-a-daisies, but it is pretty funny though. All right, opponent, are you gonna be mono white, huh? Man, maybe Zenith Chronicler isn't in the best position. Like, the thought process is we're seeing a lot of Selesnya Toxic, which has multicolored spells. We're seeing Grixis again, Jund, Azora Soldiers, rocking all those multicolored spells. But right now, okay, we have Gilded Pinions to get our 3rd mana. but we might just go Reckless Impulse instead. Oh no, I kept such a slow hand to go up against mono red. Oh no. It's such a slow hand against mono red, guys. Okay, we might have to do multiple things next turn. Oh no. Oh no, what have I done? Okay, End the Festivities is great against mono red. However, it doesn't hit a lot right now. Mechanized Warfare on the board, it still doesn't take care of Swift Spear. It does clean up everything else though, which we're gonna have to do here. So we're gonna go Warfare, End the Festivities. Yeah, the Swift Spear is super dangerous. Hopefully the Rebel Salvo will help us clean that up next turn. It would be really nice to be able to do two things next turn though. Uh-oh, we're not gonna make it, guys. We're not gonna make it. Oh no. So Patchwork can chump the Swift Spear. Rebel Salvo takes care of Thundering Raiju. Man. Oh man, they had us on the run, guys. We do this on our turn. I can't think of anything that mono red would be able to do to protect their Raiju, but I think we just do it anyways, right? Not enough to bring Squee back. Oh, Crucible. That'll do it. Hey, good game, opponent. Oh my goodness. I mean, hey, I wanted to get 3 more games in, I guess. Ask and you shall receive, right? A very fast match against a mirror match there, but not technically a mirror match, but still. Oh, I kept such a slow hand to go up against mono red, guys. Oh man. I mean, that's kind of how mono red is right now, though. It keeps you on your toes the whole time. It keeps you on the run, on the defense. So, I don't know if there's going to be a way through there. Our End the Festivities hit really hard, though, but that extra counter from the Kumano was enough to keep them in there. The Raiju slamming on the board right on time. Very scary business. Oh, buddy. Alright, see, this is a decent hand. It's a little bit faster. I kind of wish we were going first a little bit more than we are, but it's fine. We're gonna go Goldhound here. Feldon is good. Gilded Pinions isn't terrible here. Man, now we're seeing the mono red. Okay, the cure hits a little bit. Goldhound number 2. Feldon swing and they just take the 2 easily. Because they are technically the ones on the aggressive right now. If we go Gilded Pinions, we can go Goldhound number 2. Both Goldhounds block the Epicures really well. I'm gonna go Feldon. I think that's fine. I wonder if they double block Goldhound. I'm gonna keep the Goldhound back as a blocker. Better to block with the first strike than just to have a trade with an Epicure, you know? Okay, we'll see, man. We'll see. Reckless Impulse. They do see their mountain and another Phoenix chick. That's pretty scary. This is the perfect match to see our End the Festivities. They might... Yeah, they hold the Epicures back. Getting some in the air here. Next turn, I can imagine a Mechanized Warfare hitting this board, you know? Well, they saw their land with their Reckless Impulse. Let's see if we see it. Like, we could go Gilded Pinions and try to get a blocker in the sky. But we still need 2 to equip that, so... Nice, okay. Nice. Let's go with another Goldhound. And I'm really hoping... Oh, I should have swung with Feldon first. Oopsie daisies. My brain is telling me to keep blockers back, but Feldon can't block, so... We got great blockers on the ground. Phoenix Chick is scary, but eventually Gilded Pinions... Phoenix Chick number 3. Mechanized Warfare, they got 6 damage in the air this turn, guys. Oh my goodness, we are on the run. Oh, buddy, this whole week of videos we have been on the run. Patchwork, what's up, buddy? Oh, man. That's not gonna help against the onslaught of Phoenix Chick right now. We're not gonna be attacking anytime soon. We really needed the End the Festivity, which would clean everything up on their board. Literally everything. Feldon, of course, no blocks. They don't want us to find anything. I think that's it, guys. I think that's it. They're gonna have 4. They're gonna be able to swing on the ground with Epicure because Epicure's doing a lot as well. So we're okay. Yeah, no, they just... Wait. Are we alive? They have 5. There's 6 going in. They have 1 card in hand still. Zenith Chronicler is going to get exiled here. We might be alive, but I doubt it. Oh, they found their End the Festivities. Ah, well, it picks up both Goldhounds, so we might as well drop the Rebel Salvo, but then they still have 8 going through because of the Warfare. Actually, they can bring back the Phoenix Chick that I just targeted. It doesn't matter, but what you would want to actually target there was the Epicure. Because now when they full swing, they can pay there too. Yeah, we'll just grab the mountain, that's fine. Oh, buddy. Scary, scary business. That's why we have the 3. What, did I miscount somewhere too? Because now we're at -2. Oh yeah, and the Festivities did 2 damage to our face as well. Well, let's see if we could get 1 more game in, guys. We're almost 40 minutes in. I wanted 3 more games, and we went up against Mono Red 2 in a row. I guess we got him. I guess we got the 2 more games. I still kind of have high hopes for the deck. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if we're seeing it right now. Look, look, look. We have a turn 2 Urabrask Forge, and maybe it won't be a Spell Pierce this time. That's really good. I'm telling you, it's really good. Okay. Foundry's fine. Let's do this. Turn 2 Urabrask Forge. I'm happy about this, man. Oh, man. Yeah, no Spell Pierce that time. Make Disappear could be open. The land is perfect. Patchwork getting countered would be really bad. I think we still try it. Oh, nice. Okay. Rabbit Battery. Nice. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's get some revenge against the meta, guys. Oh, Esper Legends potentially. Oh, okay, yeah, Adeline's gonna be really scary against Esper Legends. Chronicler could be really good against it, though. Up 2 open. Let's get Patchwork to the point where it can kill the Adeline. Probably the best bet. And get Chronicler down so that way we can start drawing. Yeah, I love Gilded Pinions, man. It's, like... I guess it's kind of sort of super janky. We don't want them to just take 7. I want to keep the Rabbit Battery around. If we... Yeah, I guess the block was probably the 3-1 regardless, so maybe we could have cheesed the battery through, but... Get a 1-1. Okay, we take that for sure. Wedding announcement, okay. Okay. I'm not really... I thought it was going to be Esper Legends. But now I'm wondering. Now I'm not so sure. Patchwork to 5/5. So it blocks. Or it does really well here. Zenith Chronicler, some flying. Boop, boop, boop. And I'm still going to save the Rabbit Battery back. As silly as that is. They chumped the Patchwork. I guess we could have flown in with Patchwork so that way they couldn't chump with it. So our early forge is probably gonna wrap this up, I would say, but we'll see. I'll block one of these, I guess, right? It makes Adeline a little bit weaker. Come on, Chronicler. No, I wanted Chronicler to help me draw so bad there. Let's go here. And we'll power up our Foundry. We're going to try to close this up with a full swing. We just have to be prepared for the Wandering Emperor life gain. Oh, they had to take one, so they're down to 3. They take Chronicler out of the equation, up to 5. Yeah, GG, because they only had the block from the Adeline there, so we went wide enough. There we go, guys. I don't really know what we were up against. I'm pretty sure it was Esper Legends, and I'm a little bit sad that Chronicler didn't draw us any cards today. It's still a neat one. Being a 3/1 artifact is still just pretty decent, as we saw there, just equipping the Gilded Pinions to it, and earlier having it at a 5/1 too. I really do believe that we got a little unlucky overall today, and maybe I could have played out some of those games too. I just think the deck had a lot more capabilities. I think it had a lot more to do. And we just didn't see it. The opponents really had it, is what I'm trying to say. At least that's what it feels like. I don't know. You guys can let me know down in the comments too. What you thought, if you thought it was just the deck as well, or maybe I did play them out relatively poorly too. It's a neat one, man. I really like it. We saw moments where I was like, oh yeah, End the Festivities, we're gonna have to drop some of these, and then moments against both of the mono red builds that we just went up against where End the Festivities was our only chance of actually surviving. So 3 of these I think is completely fine, and it still works really well with Mechanized Warfare. You are seeing a lot of mono red, it's going to be great, and if you're seeing soldiers too, it's going to be excellent there as well. So it's a good one, and sometimes it's relatively okay. Well, it's pretty much always a good one when you have Mechanized Warfare down, but sometimes it's okay to double down on a couple End the Festivities in the same turn too. So like I said, I wish we could have seen more from Zenith Chronicler today. That we definitely went up against decks that had multicolored creatures, but they just didn't play them. It might be an instance there where, you know, they really don't want us to have extra cards. So it depends. Patchwork, I would have liked to see a little bit more than what we did see today, but we saw in that last game where it just gets completely out of hand. And the opponent has to spend so much extra mana to actually remove it because of the ward too. It's still just an absolutely terrific build-around creature. Gilded Pinions is awesome, dude. Just being able to sometimes equip this and swing on in, but also it acts as like 2 cards in 1 turn. So you got your Patchwork, you drop the Gilded Pinions, and then you get that extra treasure, so you can use that treasure to play like a Rabbit Battery, or an Eater of Virtue, or a Goldhound, and it all buffs the automaton even further. Doing multiple things on the same turn can be really good. Turn 2 Urabrask's Forge is pretty much as good as I thought it was going to be, but you actually have to get it down on turn 2, and the best way to do that, of course, is if you went first. Because if you didn't go first, the opponent will probably have 2 open mana, and there's going to be a chance that there's a counter spell over there as well. So other than that, I'm actually surprised that I mean I'm not that surprised. Yeah, the spell pierce was brutal. Generally speaking, against mono blue, when they have the 1 blue mana open, it's a Consider or a Fading Hope, and we don't see too much spell pierce. At least I haven't seen too much spell pierce in the recent months, but it totally makes sense to run like 1 or 2 of them, especially when every other opponent's rocking Invoke Despair on the top end, and they play that as soon as turn 5 comes around. Drop a Spell Pierce, no more Invoke Despair, right? So totally makes sense. Urabrask's Forge, man, it's a great one, and I love that it fits the artifact theme beautifully. Rebel Salvo is, in fact, good removal. We didn't get to see it do too much today, though, and the +2/+0 on Eater of Virtue happens to just be pretty decent overall, and fitting that artifact theme, it just works well in here. Reckless Impulse I would have liked to see do a little bit more, as well as Feldon, but it's kind of the whole deck, man. I would have liked to see the whole deck do a little bit more, and I think we could bring that win rate up the more we play with it. I think it's possible. Yeah, I think if we would have went first against at least one of those mono red builds, the matches might have gone a little differently. There were moments where I definitely could have mulliganed to try to find better or faster hands too. So there's so much to consider. I really enjoyed the list. There's so many cards packed in here that I just have so much fun playing with, like Goldhound and everything too. So yeah, I liked this one, huh? Okay, guys, enough rambling. If you made it this far into the video, then for real, y'all are champions. Thank you so much for being here. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.